Hey everyone, this is question 21 from your term one holiday homework. So, one that you can do on your calculator. So, probably not much working out by hand for this one. So, we've got the graphs of y equals mx plus c, so it's a straight line, and y equals ax squared, which is a parabola. We'll have no points of intersection for all values of m, c, and a, such that. Okay, so for a question like this, that you've got these variables m and a and c, they can take on any value basically. So I would just create a slider on the calculator. So I know some of you, the slider's not working, so we might have to just look at fixing that. But I just did this question, but let's have a look at it again. So you can see here in blue, and I don't think I can make this any bigger, can I? Let me just, whoops. Let's get rid of it. It's right click, I think. Okay, there we go, that's a bit better. All right, so we've got the y equals mx plus c, and then y equals ax squared. So if we were to graph it, using the second one, the sliders will come up. All right, so we've got m. Just make sure when you do put it into your calculator, you put a multiply sign in. Sometimes the calculator will recognize, if you just write mx, that as a pronumeral on its own, so m times x. So you're looking at them as two separate. Okay, so we've got m, we've got c, and we've got a. So basically I can move this slider and things change. Okay, so things move, gradients change. All right, so let's come back to that in a second. Actually I can see, I don't need to get rid of it. I can see the options here. All right, so if I have a look at option A, when A is greater than 0 and C is greater than 0. So remember, we don't want any points of intersection. So as I've got it now, you can see they are crossing. There's 2 points of intersection. So with your A value, we just need a value greater than 0. So it's already on 2, and C just needs to be greater than 0. So it's currently on 0. So let's change it to 1. And this, because there's no value for M can take on anything. So if I was moving M, you can see, well, I'm crossing they're both crossing, all right, they're intersecting, so it can't be A. So let's have a look at B, all right, so we need A to be a value greater than 0, currently is, and C to be a value less than 0, so let's move it down to -1. All right, and remember M can be anything, it didn't tell us what it is. Oh, look, it's crossing, we don't want it to cross, so it's not B. C and D, we're going to come back to. All right, so let's just have a look at E. So M has to be greater than 0, it currently is at 9. All right, if you wanted to, I always think just can do 1, just has to be greater than 0, and C has to be greater than 0. So currently -1, so you can see the number in the middle changes. So there it is at 1, and A can be anything. So currently they're intersecting. So I could move A, and you can see all it is doing is changing the dilation of our parabola. I was trying to find the word, and then it was reflecting. Okay, so it does intersect. Doesn't intersect when it's negative, okay, but it does when it becomes a positive. All right, so that cancels out E, okay, because you can see there it's, no matter what happens with A, it's still crossing. So with C and D, now let's have a look at these options. So we've now got a 50% chance of guessing it if we wanted to guess, but we shouldn't really guess. We can see that the value of C is the same. All right, C has to just be greater than this. So this left-hand side, let me just get my little pen. All right, and my highlighter. Okay, so these two are the same. So effectively, we've just got to test what's happening with the A. So we've got one option is greater than 0 and the other option A is less than 0. So let's test option C first. So where A is greater than 0. So let's let A equal 1. Doesn't matter what you let M equal, so let's let M equal 1 as well because it's a nice easy number. I wouldn't choose 0 just because it would just be a pain. And then that means C has to be greater than -1 squared, which is just 1, over 4 times 1, which is 4. So let's let C be equal anything greater than -1/4. I'm just going to let that equal to 1 as well. So going back to our calculator, where are you? All right, let's make everything equal 1. Oh, it currently is. That was just purely coincidental. So you can see they do intersect. So it can't be C. So we kind of said, all right, must be D, but let's test D anyway. So option D, where A is less than 0. So let's let A equal -1. We can still let M equal 1. So that means C has to be greater than, so if I was to substitute them in, I would get 1/4. All right, so 1 is still greater than 1/4, so I'm going to leave C as 1. So basically the only thing that has changed is my value of A. So if I go back to my calculator, all right, and change A to -1, you can see it's not intersecting, and it's a bit hard to see. I don't know how to actually zoom in quickly. Zoom in. If I zoom in, it's not going to zoom in where I want it to. So, and I can't seem to move it. Don't know why it's not moving. So that's really annoying. Let's go back out. And then you can kind of see they're not intersecting. You can test it if you want. What do we go to? I'm trying to remember. Intersection. Okay, not found. Awesome. So your answer for that one is D.